From City Hall, he fought a financial depression and for what he cared about. And for that this weekend, former Councilman George Forbes is being honored. Channel 3's Leon-Bibb sat down with him to take a look back.
Quieter now, not as vocal as in past years, but still politically sharp. When George Forbes was the longtime president of Cleveland City Council, he led with a strong gavel and a stronger tongue. At times, the Forbes tongue was a sword. Retired now, he thinks of those days when he pushed for what he thought was best for Cleveland. The longtime council president Forbes could be controversial. He knew politics and played it to the hilt. Sometimes it was hardball.
Well, you're not gonna stay. Get the hell out of here.
That was then. This is now. At age 87, the former Cleveland Council president reminisces. From 1974 to 89, Forbes presided over council. He had an overriding approach to the job.
The ability to take care of people and to understand what they needed and what they wanted.
Through the halls of government, he led the legislative side of the city, sometimes in opposition to mayors, sometimes hand in hand. Always colorful, at times controversial. He could make the nightly news by turning City Hall into a boiling pot. Forbes could turn up the heat.
People will do what they think they can get away with.
But Forbes knew how to get the council's 33 members, later 17, to vote him as its leader. He also pushed for anything he thought would better serve the people. Today, Forbes shuns any thought that he was powerful.
I was more important than I was powerful. You can't say you're powerful when you have 33 colleagues who you depend upon to keep you in office.
He once ran unsuccessfully for mayor, but he is better remembered as one of the political architects for Cleveland's comeback following the city's late 1970s fall into financial default. From the edge of the city's collapse, he pushed for the city, but remembering his youth in the segregated South, he pushed especially hard for Cleveland blacks.
But as the city progressed, it had to be progress for black people, and that I do not regret, and that I will not back off of.
I don't like cops, man. They pissed me off.
Forbes did not back off much. He could be biting, but age has mellowed the retired Cleveland City Council president. The tongue of George Forbes is more tempered now.
If I had one thing to do over again, a portion of my political career to do over again, I would reduce the cursing.
It was in this chamber George Forbes presided. During those days, Cleveland Mayor George Voinovich said running Cleveland were two Georges, Little George and Big George. Voinovich, the mayor, called himself Little George. But George Forbes disputes the title of Big George and says also that he was not powerful, only that he had an important job.
Somebody asked me that the other day about this thing they said, the most powerful man and all that crap. That kind of denotes egotism and what have you. I was important. He was the mayor, and he had the employees and the men and women of expertise, finance directors, law directors, who could craft those things. Now, he brought me into those meetings. He brought me into those meetings to see which way can we go.
He does not visit City Hall anymore, admitting he does not miss its daily battles. Neither does his wife Mary, who sat off camera for this interview, choosing to let her husband do all the talk. Their Cleveland University Circle home is filled with artwork, but prominent in the living room is a life-size portrait of President Barack Obama.
He came to see me when he was running, and said, I need to talk to you.
Barack Obama knew Forbes' reputation on how to win. Now the retired council president is content to serve as elder statesman who can stay out of the day-to-day battles. But he is being applauded as one of the key figures who, in the city's financially troubled 70s and 80s, successfully guided Cleveland. Leon-Bibb, Channel 3 News.